My name is Jesse, and I work with small businesses in the government marketplace. You're listening to FedBiz'5, where you get informed, get connected, and get results on everything government contracting. Today, we've got a special guest, Frank Krebs, a government contracting specialist who is going to help us untangle the complex web of federal acquisition regulations, or FAR. Frank, glad to have you back.
Hey, it's a pleasure, Jesse. And the FAR might be complex, but it's not indecipherable. And I'm here to prove that.
And we're happy to have you to prove that. So let's just jump right in. Could you explain to our small business audience why FAR is such a crucial part of government contracting?
Sure thing, Jesse. The FAR is basically the playbook for all federal procurement. It ensures that all players, government agencies, large corporations, and small businesses are treated on a level playing field. It's there to enforce fairness, integrity, and transparency in how the government buys goods and services.
Excellent. So that sounds essential indeed. Now, how can small businesses simplify this seemingly overwhelming document?
Well, it's all about focusing on what's relevant to you. The FAR is vast, but not every part will apply to your business. So identify the sections pertinent to your operations and really get to know and understand them. Plus, keep an eye out for updates, as the FAR isn't static. It changes frequently as laws and policies evolve.
Updates to regulations can catch businesses off guard. So how can they stay on top of these changes?
Well, vigilance is key. Resources like the Federal Register and the official FAR website are constantly updated. There's also software solutions that track these changes, which can be a huge help. But most importantly, document everything. If you can show your work, you can show compliance.
Actually, you mentioned software solutions. Could you dive a bit deeper into how technology can aid with FAR compliance?
There are compliance software systems that can alert you to any regulatory updates. They also help with your record keeping and even guide you through compliance checks. These can be lifesavers, especially when you're dealing with something as dense as the FAR.
What about when things get really technical? What should our listeners do if they hit a snag in understanding or applying the FAR?
When in doubt, seek advice, as a misinterpretation can be very costly. A FAR consultant or a specialized attorney can help clarify any confusion and guide you through audits or even bid submissions. Think of it as an insurance policy for compliance.
Some sound advice there. Now, if our listeners want to take their compliance further, what steps should they take?
Well, start with a compliance program that's tailored to the FAR requirements that impact your business. Train your employees, and not just to know the rules, but to understand the why behind them. The spirit of the FAR is just as important as the letter.
Okay, so it's about embracing integrity then, right?
Exactly. It's not about fear of audits or penalties. It's about building a business that's reputable, reliable, and ready for long-term success.
Absolutely. Frank, very insightful. Any final words for our small business owners listening in?
Yeah, keep in mind, FAR compliance is a path. It's not a hurdle. And partner up if you need to. Companies like FedBiz Access can help you navigate through the fog and provide a clear route to not just compliance, but success in government contracting.
Frank, thanks for making the FAR, or Federal Acquisitions Regulations, a lot less scary, even though it's still hard to say. We're out of time, but I think our audience has gained a little bit on the topic today, so thank you for that, Frank. We appreciate it.
Hey, it's my pleasure, Jesse. And here's to making the FAR less of a conundrum and more of a cornerstone for your business growth.
And there you have it. Remember, the FAR is there to guide you, and with the right focus and resources, compliance can become second nature. That's all for this episode of FedBiz'5. Be sure to check out our free resources page for more tips and tools. Frank, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll catch you next time.
You got it there, Jesse.
This concludes this week's episode of FedBiz'5, where you get informed, get connected, and get results. Today's podcast is sponsored by FedBiz Access. Government contracting made simple. Visit them at FedBiz'5 or contact them at 888-299-4498.